It's funny, I feel that with the presence process, you've basically got a couple of practices like the consciously connected breathing, conscious responses, and integration of emotions. They're the three main things. So it's different to mindfulness where you've got a set period of time. You can do a practice right now while drinking tea, whereas with the presence process, you can't really do a practice while drinking tea unless emotions come up. And memories, but you're not really focusing on the senses, it's different. So it's really an emotional integration thing. It's really about feeling sensations and feeling the emotional body. But it leaves out likes. There's not a lot about craving, it's more about anger, grief, and fear. You could argue that craving is a form of anger, grief, or fear, because when you're craving something, you're wanting something that's not here right now, or you're wanting a pleasant experience. You're wanting more of a pleasant experience. So there is a FOMO, fear of missing out. There's also could be anger or aversion to the present moment and wanting to get somewhere else. So you could argue that there is craving as a result of aversion, and that's exactly what Florian was saying. Craving isn't just attraction or desire or wanting, it also stems from aversion or wanting to push something away or get out of what's being experienced right now and get into some other experience that would be more pleasant. So for example, there's a cup of tea here and I really like the tea, I like the taste. That's a preference. But if there's craving with that because it's not good enough just to sit here and I need something else, then that's something different. That's coming from a craving for a pleasant experience or aversion to what's here right now. So that can be looked at. And we can look at it from the messenger is the craving arising for this cup of tea, for instance, and the situation around this, I don't want to be here now, I want something more pleasant, this is not good enough. A kind of dissatisfaction, suffering, grief with what's now, aversion to what's now. That's the message. The messenger is the tea situation. The message is this underlying aversion and grief and anger or aversion. So if I stay with that, that is integrating the message and gaining insight from the message. Seeing where it arises in the body, that burning feeling, that heat, is what Michael calls that inner boiling, that inner heat, the friction caused by not wanting to be here and the uncomfortable emotion. So week 6 is all about integrating emotions and integrating charged emotions in particular, because the positive emotions don't normally bother us. And they're not charged, they're just emotions passing through, and they're genuine objects coming out of our true self, whereas the charged emotions are stemming from memories and are resisting the present moment and blocking us from knowing our true nature in the present moment. So those are the things that we want to integrate. And how do we integrate? We integrate just by being with the charged emotion and being unconditionally with the sensation and the emotional signature that's arisen from this situation. And you'll notice over time that things can happen, the sensation changes, we might take a breath, we might loosen up. That's a good sign. Those are signs that things are integrating. So in week 6 of the presence process, it's worth noting that the presence process is a longer term thing. It's not as quick as, say, a mindfulness session or a meditation session. It's a slow evolution over 10 weeks. But the thing to look out for are these charged emotions that do surface. And it can be done at any time, even while sitting down having a cup of tea or coffee and noticing what's arising and how the day's going if you want to reflect. So those are some takeaways today related to week 6 of the presence process. And I wish you a good day.